Boys, as we're driving here, I've decided I'm over winter.
It was 4 degrees today.
No, it's just, I'm over it. It's like this time of year, I feel like it's been a bad winter to start, right? Now we're getting all this snow, and I just feel like it's time to go fishing. And like ice fishing is one thing, but it's not fishing. Sorry, everybody. You know what I mean?
Ice fishing's fishing.
I used to do it a ton, but not so much anymore. I haven't been out this year.
No.
Maybe once or twice last year.
I like ice fishing. I just much rather go fishing in the summer.
Oh, 100%.
I just like having all the stuff to do it.
Yeah, it's kind of like ice fishing is more about like the social aspect, I think.
Very much so.
Right? You're hanging out with your buddies, barbecuing on the ice.
Not catching anything.
Not catching anything.
Yeah.
At least not the way I fish.
Right?
Wet feet, cold feet.
Hey, I got a great story.
Uh-oh.
I got. So remember last episode we had the Musky Maniacs on.
Yeah, that was a great show.
That was a good show.
John and Greg guitared.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah, they nailed it.
Yeah, they nailed it.
So we had the Musky Maniacs on, and one of the big questions that we ask these guys is what is it with you guys and all the hot chicks, right? So John gave us some fresh hats.
Yeah,
nothing I love more than a fresh hat.
Let me guess. Some girl walked up to you on the street because you're wearing a Musky Maniacs hat.
Saturday, I go to the Costco on a Saturday
In Peterborough.
In Peterborough, right? I'm walking down the aisle, minding my own business, looking for frozen.
Never happened.
Right? Yeah. And this hot mom walks up to me and she's like, "Hey, nice hat." And I was just like,
Wow.
right? So go to www.muskymaniacs.ca and get yourself a chick magnet. I'm telling you.
I don't know. Is this true?
Yeah.
I
That hasn't happened to me, but I haven't been anywhere.
I got all the faith in the hat. I just don't know about the guy wearing it.
Remember they used to say you have nice eyes? Like before you were like 46?
Dude,
I'm not 46.
Yeah, 45?
45.
45, okay.
when I wear my Musky Maniac shirt, I'm always got to be like, yo, my eyes are up here.
Right?
All right? Chicks are looking at me like, I'm a Musky Maniac shirt?
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, they're good people. We had a lot of fun, but we have to have the.
I learned a ton last show too.
That was so much fun.
Yeah.
I actually got some weird like thing going on that I want to collect musky baits now.
Now I know how Sean feels when he goes bass fishing with me because I learned a lot. So I'm sure you learn a lot when you go fishing with me. So,
oh, you guys are brutal. Anyways, we got another good show in store for you. We got some sponsors, of course. YOLO Tech, always hooking us up. Check out yolotech.ca. There's going to be some show specials coming up for them on all sorts of brands. Those guys have been behind us all since the beginning of this show. They really stepped up. Also, the title sponsor of the CanCast trade show, which is awesome. And of course, we got our friend at the Perfect Jig stepping up for this episode. What a great guy. He doesn't know it yet. I'll give him the bill later. But anyways, so the Perfect Jig, you got to check out their stuff. You're going to hear all about it tonight. But we got some guests in studio. So speaking of the Perfect Jig, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Brendan Knaggs. How's it going, buddy?
How's it going, guys?
Good, man. Happy you could be on here.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you guys having me.
Awesome.
Guys, awesome podcast. Been watching for a while now since you started, so
I appreciate it. You know,
really good.
8 episodes has gone by really quick.
it has. Yeah.
It's been 8.
Right? It's only been 8.
They
This
were
is
just
number 9. Yeah, and also joining us tonight, we have a good friend of mine and co-worker, Warren McRae. How's it going, buddy?
Good, man. How you doing?
Not bad. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for the invite. I finally get on here.
Yeah, finally. Hey, well, I got a waiting list.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I do. It's bad.
Yeah, well, it's good.
It's bad, but like I feel like we have to have like a bouncer, like a virtual bouncer on like everyone wants to be on the show, and I gotta hurt feelings because it's not like personal. It's just like I can't physically get everybody on, right? So like
Right.
I took a bribe from these two, so they're in. No, I'm just kidding.
That's why I brought product.
This is a pretty good bribe.
No, that's not true at all. We invited them on, but I mean like it's tough because I think like at CanCast, our whole thing has always been we're selling like the social. See, I struggle with the S's.
Social.
Thank you.
There you go.
Side of fishing, right?
Right.
It's all about just the show is all about coming, hanging out. Don't care what company you work for, what you do, what your pro staff or what you rep. We just want to talk fishing and have a good time.
Absolutely.
We're all friends here.
We're all friends here. That's what it's all about. And I think that, is what we always said about the trade show. Everybody's invited. We want you all there. And the same with people on the show. We just want everybody to come here and have a good time. I don't care if you like brand red better than, brand blue or black, whatever. We just want to have a good time and shoot the crap, right?
Right.
So thank you guys for joining us, and hopefully we can do that tonight. We have no script tonight. We're just going to wing this one.
Yeah.
So,
sometimes those are the
We've
best
had a
shows.
script before.
well, I've had a script here, and Woody's had a script. We just never really
I
seen
have
this
a pen.
thing.
I have a pen that I got like the first show, and I've never used it.
I don't see any paper.
I know,
See,
right?
this is my script. Tonight, it's blank.
Hunter, you've just missed the memo every time. That's all.
That's it. Who was it? One of them was like, I can't open the master sheet. Who was it? On my phone.
Oh, it's probably me, I would think.
And then he finally figured it out, and he puts like 20 sentences in it. Like, it was impressive. Remember? It was like 20 topics. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Filled
good.
it.
Look, if technology is not our strong point, that's why we have Woody. Like, let's be serious here.
It's a pretty
I can-
good
Pretty good
setup.
I can barely turn on my Garmin some days. So, but anyways, we'll start with you, Knaggs. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into fishing, and right into kind of starting your company. Like, where did it start from?
It's funny. That's like a super popular question we always get asked. But honestly, like, my story in business, I think, is a lot different than a lot of other people's stories. Like, my story in business was in a short form. I always was entrepreneurial, but I never thought I'd have a business. My business started from, I've made tackle since I was, 13. Always made tackle since I was 13. And from then on, we made stuff, and I gave it to a couple guys. They were winning some tournaments, and then started to join Port Perry Bassmasters. Guys in there. I had a couple guys, not in our club, other clubs, win a tournament on it. And literally, like, when they say the snowball effect, it's actually like a real thing. People just don't say it. We went from making, like, I always remember the first one I made for a guy, and he ended up winning a tournament or a club tournament or something on it. And he came back and he goes, we did an order through our club, and we want like 50 jigs. And I was like, 50? I'm like, oh my God, I used to make 10 or 15 for myself a year. So I'm like, 50 jigs. Oh, what am I going to do? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know. And I'm like, okay. So I gave them a price, and they were good with it. Well, then, like, kind of a word spread, and a couple other clubs wanted. So it went from literally a couple hundred jigs one year to 5,000 one year to 20,000 to 80,000 to 100,000 to we now do, like, I think last year we did like 140,000 pieces.
140,000 pieces. So is that
by hand?
Is that like that's like jigs and stuff you poured, or
yeah,
that includes soft plastic?
That's everything. That's jigs, tube heads, everything.
Yeah.
But that's jigs. We're still, we probably still do within 20 to 30, 40,000 jigs a year.
Jeez. So I want to like alliterate one thing. You do this full time.
Yeah, this is this is actually going to be our. April 6th will be 10 years.
So this is your full-time job. You wake up every day and you build this brand and you market it and you produce it, and you're kind of like you're the CEO that does everything.
I am. It's funny, on the back of my business card, it legit says like my titles, and it has Garbage Man in there. It has everything on my business card. It's pretty crazy.
That's funny. Get us a picture of that.
It's pretty crazy.
Good.
I have one right here,
really?
actually, probably somewhere. But yeah,
we'll post it up.
It's pretty cool. But other than that, like, you know what? It started from, and there's a lot of sacrifices to it too. Family sacrifices. Like, my wife's been great. She knows, like, when orders are due, like, I'm going away for a while and I'm making, and when things are ready, they're ready, right? So there's a lot of time and dedication, and, family and friends have helped out. We have some part-time people that work for us now, and, at the end of the day, like, the local support, and, like, again, thanks again to everybody, that it's ever supported. Definitely a big deal. Yeah. I never would have thought in a million years. I figured I would be in the fishing business somehow. I always thought tournaments or this, but, everyone has that dream.
Yep.
To be in it for so long now, and I'm not saying 10 years is long, but it's pretty long in the sense of, like, yeah, you get to wake up and kind of do what you like to do every day, right? Yeah. Like, that's what kind of most people dream about, like going to work and doing what they love every single day.
Holy, I'm inspired right now.
Well, I'm going to tell you guys something right now. I'm pretty sure that I've got stakes in this company from how many of these jigs I bought.
I've seen your boat. You do.
I don't know. I have a custom jig.
Right. Do you remember who placed your very first order? Do you remember, like, your very first paid legit order? Do you remember who that was?
Like, store, yes.
Not a store. Like,
okay.
Just the first jigs that you actually sold.
Was it the club guy?
It was probably the club guy. And it was funny because the name kind of came from there too. So I can't remember who it was, but he basically, I remember him saying to his friends, or his friends were saying to me at the time when they were ordering, he goes, you made for whoever, he wants some of the perfect jigs. That's what he was calling them, perfect jigs, because he won a tournament on them. And I was like, Perfect Jig. I'm like, I like that. And I was like, okay. I'm like, yeah, I can make you whatever you want. It kind of went from there, but like I don't remember who, but it would be club guys from sure. It was maybe it was like back in like CBAF days, or it was a club type of atmosphere guys though, for sure.
So we're gonna loop back to this and the whole like building the business.
No,
thing.
for sure.
But Warren, let's get a little bit into you right now. So you've been like a fishing fanatic your whole life, as far as I know.
I'm obsessed with it.
Obsessed with it. Guy's nuts. Tell us a little bit about like your background, how you got into the sport, what you got into doing, what you're doing today, and if you live the dream like Knaggs does. Let's hear it.
Well, so I got into fishing at a young age through family. Grandfather take you out the tin boat. You have no idea what you're doing. You're throwing the bobber and the worm.
There's that word.
Tin boat. You can't talk about the tin boat.
You can't.
We can't talk about the tin boat.
We have to.
Not yet.
Everybody starts with the tin boat.
Can't talk about the tin boat.
Tin boat
Championship. Can't talk about it.
Yeah, so started out, the cottage, fishing with my gramps, and funny enough, he used to be a Bass Nation or Federation, I guess at the time, member, like way back in the day, so in the early heydays, but never had a fancy bass boat. Fished out of a tin boat against all the guys with the Glastrons and everything else at the time.
Tin boat.
He kind of instilled that love for being on the water at a young age. At probably, 7 or 8, I was taking the boat out on my own, out on the lake. I had to stay within sight of the cottage, and it was kind of tricky because there was some islands in front, so I could kind of go around and I could play that. Well, I could see you through the trees card, but so got started like that. Eventually saved up, never lost the love for it. But you go to school, go away to college. Finally saved up enough, bought my first kind of shoddy bass boat, I guess if you'd call it, an old beat up Glastron with holes patched with silicone and everything else in it. But I love that thing. Drove it for a couple of years till it blew up, and bought a little bit nicer boat and just kind of kept working my way up. Fished in the Ottawa area originally, and then moved to Peterborough. Kept kind of upgrading and got into the club scene, which a lot of guys do. They get their start there, and fished regionally, and had a little bit of success here and there, I guess you could say. Yeah. But it's it's fun, man. I'm obsessed with it. Not just the tournament fishing, like I really, really love that because it's an outlet for the competition. But just eat, breathe, sleep fishing, and that led into some of my schooling, and that also led into my current job now. I was working in the construction industry. I've worked farming, a few other things, but when you had taken a position with another company, kind of found out, was kind of working with a store, kind of helping with their build up, and when the opportunity came, I approached Greg at Graywood and got the chance to jump on with the sales agency with Graywood, and love every minute of it.
So it's been like 2 years now, almost to the day, right?
Yeah, that's some big shoes to fill. To fill, I guess I should say.
I'm back there now, by the way, too. Just so you know. We had a leave of absence, but we're back, and it's awesome. We have a lot of fun together. Yeah. We do. We make a good team.
We've had some good moments, that's for sure.
Yeah, we have some and stuff we'll never speak about on the air.
Yes, absolutely.
There's a lot of that.
Something I can speak about on the air though is Musky Odyssey with you boys. The year Kyle's gone, my first year, went down to the Musky Odyssey with Mark and Sean here, and Mulligan and Greg and those guys that were on the last show were here. But we got to come up with an interesting drink.
This is it. We forgot to talk about your guys' drink last episode. That's what I just thought of.
The Musky Mule.
The Musky Mule.
So we need to put the recipe up.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember it.
Oh, Sean knows it. He still makes it to this day.
John does, yeah.
I was going to say, it sounds like a drink, so.
It is.
Yeah, we may have drank a few hundred of them.
You guys drink? You could drink.
That would be a great bait name. The Musky Mule.
Yeah.
The Mule.
Trademark, patent pending.
I like it.
It was good.
I like it.
Yeah, it was. My wallet didn't like it, but it was a good time. That's for sure.
I remember you both got bills, and they were probably this long.
Oh yeah,
is that? Yeah.
It was a hard one to explain to my wife when I had the receipt sitting out. I was trying to go through them and sort out what was expenses and what wasn't, and she sees this receipt that's like literally 1.5 feet long, and she's like, "What is that?" And it's like Moscow Mule, and we're like, "Oh no, that's not a Moscow Mule. It's the Musky Mule."
Yeah.
I
had a 500 bucker that night.
Yeah. Did you? Oh man. And
we had a really good night.
Yeah, it was
we've had some,
Really good night.
we've had some crazy bills over the years.
Yeah.
I'll bet.
You know what? And most of the time when you're drinking with like a group of guys, and we're like I said, we're in a bar at a show. Don't worry, we're not on the water. And most of the time you get a good group of guys that even if one guy picks the bill up, they're like, hey, here you go. But like usually the guy doesn't even take it because he's like, hey, it's my turn. I got the boys. Don't worry about it. Usually what goes around comes around, I find. We got a lot of good people.
Yeah.
When we gather at these events and stuff, like CanCast Social,
good
can
time.
release all sorts of events on that. The night before the show in Peterborough, you guys are going to want to be there. Everybody's invited. Come rub shoulders of all sorts of great people.
We're
Talk
going to get
fishing.
into that a little bit later, are we not?
Yeah, and like especially like next few episodes, we're gonna give away prizes at it this year. All sorts of stuff to everybody that shows up.
Maybe we'll even get them to make the Musky Mule at the bar.
Oh, we should do the Musky Mule. We'll make like a CanCast drink. We'll make some drinks.
It's like samplers in a jug.
Yeah.
Just one of those, those
just-
three things on
You
the
just
wood.
buy a cup and then you go up and get
Right?
Yeah.
He's onto something.
I got an idea for this actually.
Is it off the air idea?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
Nice.
like the cut of your jib, bud.
All right.
Could involve booths.
So,
Right.
what makes your jig so perfect?
That is the classic question I probably get asked 800 times at show. So it wasn't, like I was telling you before about the whole perfect thing, it wasn't like a cocky or arrogant thing like we have the best jig. It was more of the fact of I was kind of going off the name that I heard from the guy. Like, go see the perfect jig.
It's catchy.
So I thought so. I kind of just stuck with it. So that's how that kind of came about. But once, you start branding something as perfect, or which nothing ever is, but we use the best materials we find. I find the best materials, the best hooks. That jig there, like the Elite jig you just showed, that's a custom mold. We have a recessed line tie. We got a screw lock system in that. I try to give everybody like the best bang for their buck. But why I even started making for myself was I liked like a certain hook out of one brand, but then I liked the skirt from another brand, and then I liked the head style of that brand, and I never had a hard time finding everything in one. So I just kind of naturally just made my own, like some guys do, right? So that's how it kind of came to fruition, I guess. But as things go on, I first started with jigs and chunks, and we went from there, and then you slowly realize that jigs and chunks are really great between, June and September. Well, what happens in October, November, December, there was nothing there. And at that time, I really it wasn't whatever. It was more of just, let's sell some stuff, get some good product in guys' hands and see what happens, and we go from there, right? But when you start wanting to work it into a business or something like that, go a little further with it, you have to start expanding. So the Perfect Jig, but I like the name the Perfect Jig because I can now go to the perfect crankbait, the perfect spoon, the perfect musky lure, the perfect. I can brand that right out for whatever the perfect car. I can t-shirt, hat, you name it. I can go to town with it.
Right. So how many SKUs do you have under your company right now?
I'll have to ask she does. Teresa does everything like
Ballpark.
I gotta be 2,200.
Wow.
What?
But you got to remember one thing with
Color,
when I say 2,200, the color and size will bite you in the butt, and that's kind of the biggest thing because say the Elite jig in front of you guys there, right? So that Elite jig, so I have that in, so that's Mr. Natural, probably one of our most popular jigs. So that's a mini jig. So I have that in 3/8, half, and 5/8, and I have it in a full size jig with a 5/0 hook, 3/8, half, 5/8. So that's 6 different SKUs.
Yeah.
For one jig.
So plus all your colors, and then that just multiplies even more, right?
Yeah, like I got 20 colors in that jig.
Wow.
Times 6, right? 6, 12, 18, 24, 32. Like you're talking a lot of SKUs just there.
So what's your best selling SKU in the company?
In jigs?
Just best one in the company.
Wait, I want to guess.
Oh yeah,
I want to guess.
It's
I want
funny,
to guess.
it's funny you say this because I just looked at my analytics because we just turned a new year. So I looked at my online analytics like 2 weeks ago.
I want to say.
Let's all guess.
I want to say it's the Black Elite Mini in a half ounce.
So I was gonna say the same thing, but black and blue.
I was going to say black and blue too.
But I was gonna say black and blue.
Sean got it.
Really?
Yeah.
You got it to the weight.
Yeah.
It's the weight, and then
Do you know how many of those I have in my boat?
Well, you got a few more now.
I've probably got 40 of them in my boat.
so the black and blue is second. and it goes hand in hand. Actually, it tied with the tungsten black and blue. So the tungsten jig there, it's wire tied. It's crazy because you can see the difference of the head. So anyone who doesn't know, like tungsten versus lead. So tungsten's half the size of lead.
Right.
So a lead 3/8 to a tungsten 3/8 is half the size, same compact feel, right? But just smaller.
Yeah,
I love tungsten.
super dense material.
Yeah, I love
And a different sound when it's knocking off of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
Big time.
100%. Like it's like a flipping weight. The lead flipping weights to a tungsten, right?
So you're making all these yourself. Is there one part that you won't let anybody touch? It's like, I'm doing this. Like any part of the process?
So I have people that help me, some pour and paint some stuff as well. Pour jig heads. I finish every jig. So I'll put the skirt on, rattles, I glue them up, I finish it.
How long does it take to finish?
It's hard to, like, I could do a jig without pouring and painting in minutes. But the thing is like when I pour something, like I'm on centrifugal machines now, so when I don't pour one at a time, I pour 30 at a time, right? It has to be, it's in for production, but I say that, and it's not like a bigger company production. My production's still the same as me making a jig individually. I'm still sitting at my bench. I'm tying it, gluing it, rattling it. I package it. I hang them up. Like if you see what I just finished, like I got show season coming up. Looking forward to CanCast, by the way. I think I got 5,500 done right now. Wow. But I've been on it for a month and a half. Right? Wow. That's like a month and a half at 10 hours a day. It gets monotonous. You know what it does? I'll tell you what it does. I love making tackle for everybody. I truly do love it, or I wouldn't do it anymore. But when I go into my garage, my shop, and I want to rig rods for a tournament or do something, I'm like, I'm sitting there. That's the only part that I'll say because I touch tackle all day, every day. Every day I touch tackle at some point.
See, I always had that problem where like your hobbies and passions become your job. It hasn't been so much necessarily in this industry, but like when I was in the motorsports industry and stuff like that. But I really find like rigging tackle to me is relaxing.
Yeah.
I love it. Like I love going to my garage. It's just me, the music going and setting everything up.
Oh, that's my jam.
But I'm not also sitting there like you are tying these every day. I'm dealing with fish and stuff and we're handling it, but we're not sitting there tying jigs. And I don't think I personally have the patience to do what you do.
It's not, I will say it's not for everybody. Like there's a few good jig makers up here for sure, hands down. It is not for everybody to do. And you can try to dabble at it, but the problem is it just, it's very, very time, to do it properly, it's super time consuming. And it gets you, right? Like it takes, like I said, Teresa's a godsend because I'll tell you, it takes away from a lot of family time for me right now, especially on my busy season, like right after shows and I come into store orders and, we probably have between 30 and 50 local dealers in Ontario. And once show season's done and orders are coming, it's like, I can't do anything else, but I got to get this out the door. Because it's like anything. It's like any business. When the money's there, you have to grasp as much as you can.
Feast your famine.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are all self-employed at some point, right? So you got to get it while it's there. That's for sure.
I want to talk a little bit about this. This is a brand new swim bait you're putting out.
Not even on the market yet.
Right. And everybody knows I'm a huge swim bait guy. I love throwing swim baits, especially early spring and in the fall. And you also have something to complement it.
Mm-hmm. I just put that up on the website actually for guys.
Not even in a real package
funny,
yet.
I can't even put something on Instagram or on social media, say it in general, without making sure it's on the website. Because if I post something, guys would be like, where is this? Where is that? Where can I buy it? How much? And I'm like, I just need to put it up and just be like, check the website.
So this is called the Perfect Swimmer.
Yeah.
And this is what, a 4-inch?
That's a 4-inch, yeah.
Right. So this is a 4-inch. How many colors is this going to be available in?
So that's going to be in 5. So the only one missing there would be a white with chartreuse tip, which I did for a lot of lake trout guys that were asking.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And now you got a football head.
That's the football head, yeah.
Right. Now, if anybody's ever fishing Lake Simcoe in the fall, I've got in my hand a 1-ounce Perfect football head. I know.
Don't give away all the goods here.
And paired with the perfect swimmer, I'm telling you, you're going to jack a giant out there.
It's pretty good setup.
Like I opened up my swag bag. This is the first thing I grabbed. I'm like, oh my god.
I know. We're all sitting here looking at it.
I'm going home right now to rig a rod. This is going to be on it right for next fall.
I'm going to let the cat out of the bag a little bit on this one. That white swim bait right there is got to be one of the best chatterbait trailers.
Yeah. So I always throw something similar to this on a chatterbait. I love fishing.
Yeah, me too.
I can love it. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
But this is good stuff, man. Warren, you throw a lot of jigs, right?
He does.
Yeah, I do.
You want to give us
not the top selling color that's in here though. I can
No?
tell you that much.
It's all right. I got a custom jig.
Oh,
too.
I know.
I probably single-handedly support the one color that he makes for me.
Can you add that onto my next order?
100%. Yeah. Warren orders a specific color, that's for sure. But it's
Is
a
it
banger.
a custom color, or is it one of your colors?
It is one of my colors.
Yeah.
I'll always remember the one time.
What color is it?
Well, come on.
I'll give it. You can give it away. It's all good.
It's all right. We have in our Elite Mini, it's a sungill. It's called sungill.
Yeah.
And it is pretty.
Don't have it here.
It's not there. I didn't.
I may have one or 10 of those.
It's
I might have one
has a
or
little bit of orange and blue, green
right,
pumpkin.
yeah.
Short story. I always remember fishing an Emerald Isle tournament back in the day. I'm fishing and he comes around the corner. And I'll remember that.
Yeah.
Comes around the corner. He goes, "Oh, buddy." I go, "What? I can't believe it." I just look, goes in the back and pulls out this 4.5 or 5.5, whatever you got. And I was like, "Yeah, on your sungill." And I'm like, it's like,
Right.
It's great making tackle for people, but in a tournament when you're like, I'm thinking I'm doing good. I got like 17, 18 pounds. I'm doing okay.
So
he comes around the corner, has a great bag, and then pulls out a hog.
Yeah.
And it's anybody that doesn't know, Emerald Isle, big fish a day is like $3,000.
I just lost it that year. I lost it by 2 ounces to Gerard. Yeah. It was like a 589 or something like that, and he just beat me.
Wow.
So
easy.
So I did because I think that year they were paying down 2 places in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did get like some cash out of it, but
A tournament.
I think the most surprising on that one was when we used to fish the Romania event with Tim.
Yeah.
And I remember it was kind of set up unique. It was like 3 periods type thing. You fished with a different guy each time. And basically, I mean, if you come in with an okay limit, 12, 13 pounds every time, you did good. And I remember rolling in and I was flipping a jig the whole time. I was flipping, half-ounce sungill, sorry. And Knaggs comes in. He, didn't have a great period that one time, and I was like, man, I wailed on him. Like I caught tons of them, like everywhere I went. And he's like, well, what were you throwing? I pulled it, and he goes, are you serious, man? I'm like, yeah, man. He's like, I was throwing a black one, I threw a black blue one, I threw a brown one. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, man. They were eating the sungill.
Get beat on your own tackle.
Yeah.
See what happens. See, that's
Still kind of a win.
You gave him your juice.
I know.
let's loop back to that. So getting beat on your own tackle, competition.
Yeah.
I love competition. I think competition in business and tournaments and life, whatever, is good. It's good for everybody.
100%.
I think competition breeds success.
100%.
Right? It means you're going to
makes
your
things
game
better.
It makes it better for everybody,
Yeah.
right? And if we didn't have competition in any industry, nothing would ever evolve.
Right.
And I don't. And lately, I've been talking about competition with a lot of people because it seems like some people can't handle competition. There's a lot of jealousy, jealousness, putting each other down. I love it. And that when you're going to a tackle store or we're going into a store, we're selling against somebody. Yeah. Usually in fishing, very respectful though, I find. Usually. Never really, you're always just selling what you have, talk your own product. Right. But there's a lot of jigs on the market. There's a ton of jig companies. Do you ever buy any of the competitors to test them, see what they're doing, swim them, whatever, to see if it works different? Or it's just the jig's the jig and you got it figured out as far as what you want to sell?
Yeah, I'm not saying I never figured. I don't have it figured out. You know what? There's times where I'm still making and learning things. Every time I make it, I'm like, what if I tried powder painting this way, or I epoxy this, or I do this differently? I'm always learning something. I learned the other day, like I just telling you guys that new Gobi football head. So there's no beige paint on the market. I actually mixed beige paint to make that. Like I mixed 3 colors
Oh, it
to
looks
make
awesome.
that one.
Yeah, we'll get some good photos of
it's
this
just
stuff so people can see it.
something different, right?
Yeah, no, this one looks wicked.
I didn't want white.
I'll take it.
But I wanted like a beige. yeah. No, I just kind of brought to show you guys. But
no, I like this stuff is mint.
I've never. So back to your question. I've never bought competitor products, but I've always fished. Like even growing up, Strike King stuff and whatever else came about. And back in the day, there was like a monster grass jig I used to fish, and there's companies up here that have it as well. I've got some stuff in swag bags, and I've looked at them. That's why I always wanted to kind of set some molds you can go and buy it off the shelf and pick it back up and make your own, right? But that's why our proprietary mold, like the Elite Jig, like we actually made that mold. We had it made, and it's something that just unique that nobody else had. And I always find like in tackle making, that's kind of a key. Like always, if you kind of look at some of the Japanese stuff, like they're so out of this world when they make some stuff, but it's unbelievable because it's so proprietary and so new, and nobody else has. It's so unique that nobody else has. And I think like we're trying to do somewhat of the similar things. We're bringing out a few new things, like new frog last year, which was a super giant hit. The tungsten net heads were huge with wire keeper. Like there's a few things we're bringing out that I don't think a lot of guys have or never seen up here, but I just think I knew you were gonna do that and bring
Give
that
it all
up.
away, Sean.
Everything. He loves that one.
So we gotta remember to mention the names because a lot of people are listening to this on Spotify. You might not see the pictures here,
Right.
but this is a cool one.
This is unbelievable. This is super unbelievable. This is gonna sell like crazy. I'm calling it.
So is this one new?
Yeah, that one. So it's
So what do you call this?
Sort of.
No.
This is the one that I don't want to give away, but yeah, that tungsten.
This is available
mini
for
jig
purchase
is
now?
Phenomenal.
that's available for purchase now, and on the website, like we do a couple exclusive colors that nobody has on the website. But
What is the name for this?
So that is the tungsten finesse jig.
So we got
Finesse.
basically we got the net head here.
Yeah.
Finesse the skirt. It's
Yeah.
pretty awesome with a mustad hook.
It's all collared. Yeah, that's a mustad 1/0. So me and Warren, I think we were doing Shandos at the thing. We were doing a tournament one day, and we were talking about this, and I'm like, you know what? I'm thinking about doing this and that. And he goes, I've been putting a skirt on that for a year now and catching on it. And he's like, don't bring it out. Don't bring it out. And I was like,
So this
okay,
is the Warren McRae jig. Sorry, Warren McRae.
It could be
Signature series.
Hey, maybe. So I was playing with it before, and then I was telling him about it. He was doing it, catching on it very well, obviously.
Yeah.
And I didn't actually bring it out that year. So then I was kind of holding off. But like I was saying, the more you get asked for something, it's hard to.
Trying to make a living.
Not bring it out.
Yeah, you're
you know
trying
what
to
I
make a
mean?
living.
You don't want to give up the go. Like in that one color there in the Elite Jig, Mr. Natural, I kept that under wraps, that color, for 10 years. That one, that was my color. No one ever had that color.
Right.
What made you? What was the breaking point? You said, okay, I'm going to sell this.
Someone saw. So I had my rods on the front deck, and someone goes, "What color is that?" And I was like, just
Unavailable.
Just kind of a custom color that I have, like I make for myself. Can I get some of those? And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna bring it out this year. Like, too many people have seen that one, so.
You know what's funny? I seen Mark look at this, and he's looking for his over there.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have one. And I have two.
I was gonna say
You had to.
Each bags are the same.
Did you steal anything from me?
What?
I feel a little light.
I stole his.
He took it.
Slippery fingers.
So big thing out of Japan right now, and it's kind of making its way up here, more popular, more in the like high-end Japanese shops, is the BFS system. So it's a bait casting finesse system, and that little jig on super light line, a bait casting setup, catches a lot of fish.
And that's something that a lot of like North American anglers don't realize is about like how light of line they throw in Japan.
Yeah.
Like everything is lighter. Like even like JDM reels, everyone's like, oh, I want a JDM reel. Well, like our stuff that we bring into the market here, like it's built, for lack of a better term, tougher, gear-wise and stuff like that, usually to handle like North American fisheries compared to the JDM stuff, right? Obviously, there's a lot of cool perks about a JDM and stuff like that, but that's what people don't. Oftentimes, we'll have better gears and stuff like that. So, but I think it's really interesting to see like how different the game is in Japan with like light line,
Two
smaller
and 2 and
finesse,
3
2 and
pounds.
3
they're like
pounds.
Yeah,
like,
on bait caster.
it's on bait
same.
caster. It's crazy. Like I know a guy like
Never.
a guy I fish with, Paul Winkle. He fishes in the kayak series. Guy's a hammer, and he fishes a lot of mega bass and Daiwa, high-end Daiwa steezes and a lot of JDM stuff and he only uses bait casters. I don't even know if he throws a spinning rod, and he catches small like everything, but he just has all the light setups, right?
There's a kid on the Elite Series. He took a run at the Northerns, Japanese guy. I'm gonna call it right now. This kid's gonna win Angler of the Year, and that's Kiyoya Fujita.
Yep.
He's a Daiwa pro out of Japan.
Yep.
And this guy is unbelievable. We're at ICAST and we're listening to guys like Cody Meyer, Brett Brett Haidt, and these guys talk about this guy. They got the opportunity to fish with him on a couple of the northern lakes like Champlain, and they're like, this guy he's the best we've ever seen.
Well, you're seeing a
Using
lot of that
techniques that you've never seen
Japanese
before.
guys.
Yeah.
Right? You're seeing a lot of that with the Japanese guys, super finesse, and you see a lot of the elites shifting over and paying more attention to that finesse.
They're just bringing.
right.
I think they're bringing techniques here that we've never seen. Obviously.
Right.
So who was it that remember Brandon Palmnick fished with a couple years ago? What was his name?
Daisuke.
Daisuke.
Aoki.
And you watch that video,
yeah.
and Brandon was just like, BP was like, this is insane. Like, he's doing stuff I've never seen.
Where he
Like,
went down
and
to
then he
Japan.
went to Japan and did
yeah.
the same thing, right?
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool. That's the video there that BP posted that inspired me. We're like, I have to go to Japan.
Yeah.
I want to do a tackle tour though, like sightseeing. Yeah, I want to do that, but I want to go in every tackle store going. I wanna
CanCast
come
tackle
with
tour.
bags.
Oh,
Here we go.
Our boss, Greg.
Hey, we'll take a tin boat down to Japan.
Yeah,
Greg just got back from Japan.
Yeah, in Yokohama, they call it the Spring Fishing Festival.
Yeah,
and they released some stuff there. So I kind of follow some of the Japanese stuff, and some of the stuff that's coming out from all the manufacturers is unreal. Daiwa released something that's not going to be in North America, but called the IMZ Limit Breaker, and it's like a bait casting reel that you actually set for what style of fishing you're doing, and it sets all your braking and everything for you, all electronic. Like, it's crazy. You see it lights up, all the sides of it light up to show you what you're doing.
And if it's there, it'll eventually be there.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
wow.
Yeah.
That's way beyond your.
yeah, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, but if you're trying to throw a jig, there's literally a setting, and it's like high break for doing stuff like skipping it.
Yeah, Mark couldn't figure it.
Nah, I couldn't figure it. I'm not good with computers and
just-
stuff.
I'll tell you one thing. That flip and pitch you guys have is probably hands down the best jig reel I've ever
It's
used.
Pimp.
I'll always remember it. You came to the meeting that night.
Yeah.
And it just came off the plane with him. He goes, "This is the first one." He goes,
It was the prototype.
He goes, "Go try this." And he gave me a rod. I had put it on a rod. I was like outside at a tree.
No. I brought one on a rod, and the first thing he looks at, he grabs the jig, and he goes, "This isn't one of mine." And now he's remember the hook's cut off it, and it's beat the crap because I was using it. And I go, "Knaggs, I don't use my good jigs for smashing against pavement. I use those for fishing." He's like, "Oh, good answer."
I was upset. I'm like, "You're cheating. You're cheating on me."
Well, I got a little story. I was out in my front yard this summer and having a couple of drinks with some buddies there, and I pulled out the fishing rods. I was like, "Oh, let's do some pitching at the front yard." I had a Perfect Jig tied on, and I'm pitching, and I got it wrapped around my little Noma Moonray light. Well, I set hook on it, and doesn't this thing come whipping back to me at Mach 90 right through my front window?
Yep.
My big picture window in my front of my house.
Oh no!
How much was that?
$800.
Did you learn anything?
Do you know a good window guy to put it in?
Yeah, it's a good job you do.
I'm not allowed to play in the front yard anymore with friends.
No doubt.
Yeah.
See how precise those jigs were, though?
Yeah,
See, it
yeah,
came
yeah.
right back exactly where
Yeah,
he
it was a
needed it to.
perfect bullet hole.
Perfect hole.
I stamped this now.
Did it really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect hole in the
Yeah,
glass.
we'll post a picture up here. It was a
Oh,
pretty
wow.
good hole. Yeah, it was awesome.
So going back to the CanCast side of social, selling the social side of fishing. Social. I don't think we'll have time to do this at the show because of space and manpower and all that stuff. But we're going to hold a flipping and pitching competition somewhere on a separate date. A big one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Why not?
I know a guy.
You coming for my title,
Oh, yeah.
Nagsy, or
Yeah.
what?
We got stuff.
We're thinking like full boat, parking lot.
I think we did one of these before, boys, and I think I
won
remember
it.
you
We
two
did.
at the finish line.
We did one at East Hill and it was a blast.
It was.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
me and Warren.
Yeah, it was.
Great.
We did one.
it?
Yeah, it
At
was.
OBN night.
How fun was that?
It was a blast.
Was that
That
the
was a good
OBN night or was that the? Remember we did a
That was the
Daiwa
O-
night.
That was the OBN night.
there's-
OBN night.
we did too.
Iowa night. Bear still beat me when we were trying to flip onto the little tiny tube on Kevin's head.
That was
I
fun.
was so paranoid I was going to bounce it off his nose or something.
I think that'd be a ton of fun to put some high stakes on the line and want everybody there.
Yeah.
And we'll tie it in with like barbecue and like we'll make a big deal of it sometime this summer.
So
I know guys want to fish. We got to have a little bit of fun too, right?
Oh, yeah.
So we'll put some bragging rights up and you'll hold those rights for a year. And that trophy will go on display at the show every year if everybody's name's on it.
There we go.
Called the belt challenge.
Something. We will figure
Get
it
one
out.
of them great big belts.
Okay, stamp it. We'll add that to our busy schedule.
There we go.
Idea.
With that
I like-
tin
I like
boat.
that.
Tin boat.
Yeah.
I like that.
So.
Well, going back to it, that was the only thing when you handed me that reel and I went outside and I made the first pitch I made. I'll always remember. And you're like, okay, like they sent this reel back. They had to dummy it down a bit. It was too fast. And I was like, yeah. You're too fast. I set it up. No problem. I make one pitch and that jig went. It flew. And
You go so much farther.
I looked at the reel and I was like, it
Right?
it was unreal. And I was
Right?
like, maybe that was just, let's try that again. And I was just like, you know what that reel does? That makes okay flippers look unbelievable. And unbelievable flippers.
I mean,
I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
It does.
So when that reel came out, when we were selling it, and it was almost like you were trying, the way the spool works in it, it's almost like the line comes off the reel like a 45, right? It's like it stops and whips. It was just, they were showing us at the NSM. And this would have been 2018, 2019 that reel came out.
Yeah.
No, way before. It would be at least 2018. Maybe. So, and everyone, we were going around and we were talking about it. So that came out in the Elite, just the normal Elite, which we consider like a long cast reel.
Yeah.
Right.
But you'd go and buy one, and they'd come back and they'd buy two more.
Oh,
It was so easy to sell them. So for that year, it was the number one selling reel. Because
I had 4 of them.
yes,
And 2 of them I had to give away.
yeah,
2 of them, well, I didn't give them away. My buddies took them.
yeah.
They were like, oh, no, I'm not giving it back. I'm like, dude.
So if
I'm
you,
like, it's my favorite reel. They're like, get another one.
it was such an amazing product.
Yeah.
So
They last
be
forever.
forever.
Like-
I've never had any of my Daiwa reels serviced.
Yep.
No.
The Elite.
I've
The
fished
Elite
the
hell
hell
out of it.
flip.
I know. Anyways, we do have a lot of great brand support in the show. There's a ton of good stuff. So whether you're a Daiwa guy or something else, I have to say this, go on record, because we do have so many great people. You're going to find so many amazing reels and the best deals of anywhere in the country on that day at that show.
Oh, big
I guarantee you. So I was with one of our dealers today and I was like, can I please talk about this? And he's like, no, can't say it yet. There's some serious stuff coming to this event. Crazy
Exclusive stuff.
Very
Exclusive
exclusive.
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 I got
Can
the
you say
down low on it.
exclusive?
It's-
Exclusive.
There's some pretty
Man,
cool
we have
stuff
like
coming.
a lot of good retailers coming. That doesn't even include like the custom jig guys, like Knaggs, like all the guys, the custom bait makers, the soft bait makers. Like there is some freaking cool stuff coming.
When Kyle, are they going to are you going to post everything like as far as who's all attending as a dealer?
Well, that's
Night before.
That's up for a great debate right now.
The night before.
That's up for a great debate about when we post that.
I think we could do little tidbits. I don't think we should post everything. Who's coming? Tell
Well, we got a lot.
Keep
we'll
her
start
hush.
teasers. Well, the Perfect Jig's coming.
Well, I was gonna say tonight,
Breaking news.
I might be releasing something at your show.
So there we go. So we're gonna do another release.
Exclusive comments?
But this is the great thing about it is that we're the week after the Classic. So all the new product that gets released at the Classic for most brands is going to be released at CanCast in Canada.
Right.
That's why we call it CanCast.
That's it.
Canada's fishing show. So, and that's what we're going to do. And like I said, I'm going to go on record. I want to say this because we're not trying to be anybody else. We're not trying to take away from any other shows or anything. We're doing our thing. Our thing that we do is different than what anyone else is doing. Our formula is different. It's a hybrid event. It's one day. It's high energy. It's a different thing.
It's all fishing.
As I said, I love competition. And there's so many amazing shows happening right now in this country. Support them all. I'll say it once. We're doing our thing. It's going to be fun. I hope you guys support it. I hope you support whoever you feel like going to. I hope you support your local tackle shops. I hope you support fishing in general.
I hope you support all the other shows.
100%. Our goal is to grow the sport.
Right.
That is it. Go to the boat show this week if you guys are interested in a boat. There's a million amazing boat dealers and vendors at that show in Toronto right now.
Right.
Go wherever you think works for you. Support the sport. Sometimes we need to realize that we're only going to grow the sport if we all work together.
Right.
Look, I don't sit up here. I found fishing later in my life, right? I am the farthest thing from a pro angler. I work for great companies. I'm a sales guy. I It's different, but I like doing this stuff because of the great people in it. I do this podcast because I meet great people like you guys. It's fun to do it. And I sit up here and every time we do one,
You know that
I learn
Mark Hunter's
something.
here, right?
Yeah. This is what I'm saying.
Great test.
Our tickets are going to be on sale. By the time you're listening to this, our tickets are on sale for this show. You can buy them ahead of time.
On the net?
On the net. CanCast,
On the net.
CanCast.show.
Perfect.
Or memorialcenter.ca. Follow the ticket links. You guys can get your tickets ahead of time.
Are you hiring security for this?
Oh, we
got Mark Hunter.
We have the full jam this year.
We got a Mark Hunter. We don't need security.
Yeah, we got the full jam this year.
I'm pretty sure you've run through it already, but what's going on at the gates?
Okay, so this year at the gates. So last year we had an unbelievable turnout. We're expecting that turnout again.
Yeah.
So last year we were in one building, small entrance. This year we have both buildings. You're going to enter through gate 1 at the main Memorial Center. You ever been to a Peterborough Pete's game? You take your ticket scanned, you're in. Is there going to be a lineup for doors open? Of course there's going to be a lineup because there's going to be some amazing deals in there, but that line is going to move quicker than quick.
Right.
You're going to be in there. Our biggest problem last year is we hit capacity limit.
Yeah.
It wasn't that we were slow at the door. The girls working the door were phenomenal.
Yep.
It's that we literally hit capacity. We had to stop the line. So this year,
Inside of a half an hour, it was bad.
we only had a capacity of 1,200 people last year.
Right.
This year, that's not even an issue. We're going to smash it. You're going to go in one building and you're going to go out the other.
Right.
One entrance, one exit. Sorry, 2 entrances at the front. Like, they're going to flow. Trust me. Yeah. These are professionals, the same people that do this every single night at an OHL game, a concert, and even that happens in Memorial Sound. They're handling it all.
Yeah, think
They're
of how
getting
many
you through
people
the
they
door.
put in those seats.
9,000
on a
people sit in
weekly
those
basis.
seats. 9,000 people sit in those seats. We will not have an issue this
They
year.
put 9,000 people in there in under an hour.
No problem.
Yeah.
So our biggest thing is buy your tickets online ahead of time because then you don't have to go to the box office line.
That's right.
Just walk up, you got your ticket in your hand.
That's a very good point to make is buy your ticket beforehand online.
It's the same
so
price.
You don't have to go to the box office lineup at the show.
It's the same price whether you buy at the box office. We're only a $10 admission.
Right.
There's a box office fee.
$10?
Just normal. We're only $10.
$10.
You're
Get
going to
in.
be in the show with taxes and box office fees for $14.
Wow.
And free parking?
Free parking.
And free
we covered the parking.
And Mark Hunter's going to be there.
And it's free parking. So
Give
we
them
are
high
looking for a
fives.
parking lot sponsor. If anybody wants to jump on that, reach out to me.
Yeah.
But we are free parking.
Wow.
Oh, and kids under 12 are free.
Oh, wow.
Under 12.
Under 12 are free, and you're going to get a free bait.
Wow.
A free bait.
Yeah.
So is there any reason I shouldn't come to the show?
There's no reason. Honestly,
Right?
just come hang out.
There's
That's
going to
it.
be food there.
Food
right?
there this year.
Concession stand?
It's not the same event we ran last year. Last year was fantastic. This is a different level.
Yeah.
So not to get on it, take away from your guys' great
No,
conversations
it's just
tonight.
great.
But it's just one of these things we want to alliterate. I understand that people couldn't wait in the line last year. I've said it in many episodes. If I had my 3-year-old daughter with me, I couldn't wait there for an hour either. I totally get it. I 100%
Some people waited
get it.
2.5, 3 hours.
And they went in there, you know what they said to me? That was worth every minute of it. They still walked out with a handful of stuff.
Right.
I remember working the Daiwa booth, the Garmin booth,
Yeah.
that thing. It was packed in there in minutes.
Yeah.
And walking
And packed
outside and going
all day.
All the way
long,
around.
all the way around the building, and going, wow, it's this busy. And the people that were that got in, that waited, they were impressed. The dealers showed up in a big way, and
Yeah,
the
they
people
did.
that were there were looking for a deal, and they got it.
Oh, yeah.
And not that everybody's giving everything away there, because they're businesses, local businesses, they're trying to make a living, but man, was it ever a hit.
See,
I got a problem. I got a pretty big problem. So last year, Mark and we didn't get no deals.
No.
We were
I didn't
busy.
even get to walk around.
you know what? I will remember one thing.
We were busy.
Yeah.
There's one, and I'm going to give him a shout out. Carson from Dangled Baits.
Right.
Remember that? Guy's a beauty. I met him from the show. And he ran up and he was like, he said something along the lines of me and Sean, man, I had so much fun. It's such an amazing show. And he put 2 baits in my hand.
Yeah.
I won't fish them because to me they're sentimental.
Yeah, I didn't see one of those baits. by
I
the
bet
way.
you did.
He gave me 2. I was probably supposed to give one to Sean, but I kept them both.
He meant one.
So
He gave him one.
no, there's a wicked. I think it was
Right.
jerk bait. So to me, they just sit on my shelf because to me, that's a reminder of everyone forgets that was 2 years of I literally remember the COVID cancellation.
Oh, yeah.
We had to cancel the
The
day
week
before
before.
the first one. The day before.
Was it the day?
Day before.
Yeah.
And the meetings we had and then just reschedule. I think it was rescheduled 6 times. And then that was finally like, we did it. So there's
This
so many
is the way
things.
it was meant to happen.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. This is the way.
And everyone's like, oh, not everyone, actually. I shouldn't say that because a few people are like, oh, it was probably fluke because of COVID. No. This is going to be big.
Yeah, this is.
And the best part about it is the vendors are expecting it to be big. And I always say to the vendors, your job is to bring the goods.
Yep.
Our job is to pack the building. We will pack the building, but there's nothing worse than if you guys don't bring the goods.
Yeah. Bring the deals.
So
man.
that the guys like you're saying you're tying jigs already and stuff like that. How many people are tagging us on Instagram? Building baits for CanCast, building baits for CanCast, building baits for CanCast, they're preparing, right? So well, that's what I'm saying. Like I always say to them, and it's same with the retailers, and like you need to bring it, and they brought it last year.
Yeah, they did.
Like,
I'm sure there was dealers there last year that wish so much they brought more.
100%.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I talked to a couple that said that exact thing.
Yeah.
How about that the wheel?
Oh, the
Peterborough
Pro Tackle wheel?
Yeah.
Freaking awesome. Yeah.
That was a hit.
You should see the display
I
they're
wonder
putting
if
on
we're
this
going to
year.
see the wheel again.
We're seeing it.
I heard rumor it might be around.
Yeah.
Might feel
The
the
wheel was
wheels.
They are coming all out, Peterborough. We were there today, and they got some awesome plans.
Yeah.
I tried to get the man to come on and talk about it himself. So maybe before, we'll see.
Maybe.
Yeah. We'll see if Travis will come on. But he's got some big plans. And it's wicked because he's a hometown dealer, right? And we have a lot of great dealers supporting it, but it means a lot to us when the hometown guys support it.
Big time.
Big time. Mm-hmm. It's fun. So anyways, back on that, but there's lots of good stuff, guys. So follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and our website will start getting populated like crazy by the time you're listening to this. So we appreciate it. But we got other stuff to talk about. So let's talk about fishing. Obviously, you're a jig guy, but what other techniques do you like? What's your guys' favorite techniques for fishing? And we ask this to every guest because we always get different answers.
I'm definitely probably no more as a power guy, but I love finesse fishing. Love finesse fishing. That's my my jam. But
That's a different kind of patience.
But when it pays off, it's so good usually.
It's a different kind of patience.
And I've had guys say, like good friends, that we fished just against each other, and they're like, you stayed there how long? And you come in with a good bag, and you're like, man, it's just sometimes you just got to know when to stay and when to leave, and sometimes it's just good decisions. But there's nothing better than fighting those fish on light line and playing them out, and you get a big fish at the side of the boat and your heart's just beating because you don't want to lose them. You can break them off, man. I mean, I love swinging a fish over the side of the boat with a flipping stick. Like if there's my one thing that I love it, but my little secret passion is finesse fishing on light line.
That's
sure.
one thing I noticed about you as an angler too, is that you really like to follow the fish.
Yeah.
You really like to figure out why they're there, what time they're there, what time they're going to go, right? You got a lot of patience for that, and you're really good at finding them. What's the words I'm looking for?
Sound it out. Social. Spaghetti. What's the other one? Oh, all seriousness. I can't do that.
You just did it.
What do you think?
I was setting up for it.
Right. What do you think that comes from for you?
I don't know. I noticed probably, I'm going to say about 5 years ago, a change in my fishing style, how I fished, and my patience level. Before it was move, and
Troll the motor around 100.
100 all the time, and like everybody knew it. Like I was just a bee around the lake, just go, hit a million spots, and did okay, but missed a lot. And I think the slowing down and relaxing, like I find now when I go to an event, I'm serious about it, and I love the competition, so I want to beat everybody, but just almost not giving a crap. Like that mentality of nothing can go wrong ever. You're going with the mentality of I'm going to beat everybody here, and just having confidence in yourself gives you the ability to make those decisions to stay put. And like I said, about 5 years ago, I noticed it one day, after a couple events, I'm like, man, I don't care anymore, and it just worked.
So
It's because you had a kid.
Yeah, well, I didn't have a kid
So,
5 years ago, but
Trust me,
You're just enjoying
you
the
will learn that
silence.
soon.
I'm gonna add to that thought. So I was the same thing when I have my bass boats, like spot, and that works for some guys, right? You see like a lot of guys, like you've been on Kawarfas and you've seen Chris and Cora, they just boom, spot. So I ended up getting into that kayak thing a few years ago, right? And I was talking to my buddy Tyler Warner, and he was into it before me, and he said the good thing about fishing on a kayak is you learn to slow down. And you work spots. Right. That's funny. Yeah. You learn to slow down fishing. But as he's saying, you can't cover water.
Or you mean you learn you can't go as fast as the 250?
There you go.
Yeah.
So, hey, that guy still paddles.
Right.
Doesn't even use
I
foot
bet
pedals.
you it'd
So,
scare you how many of those guys coming from the kayak side would put a whooping
on.
Oh, yeah. There's some good
100%.
angles.
100%.
There's some
There's
really good angles.
unbelievable sticks in it. So,
Yeah.
what I was getting at here is I got in that kayak and I still wasn't going slow, and I was still like trying to cover water. That was always my biggest thing. Tournament days, I always freak out and I start trying to cover water and I have horrible tournaments, okay? So we're on St. Clair of Tim Fernandez this year, and I spent a lot of time last couple of years fishing smallies with Tim in his boat and whatever. I've learned a ton. So finesse fishing has now become my game. I enjoy finesse fishing. Before that, I was all about frogging and whatever. So we're on St. Clair, and I'm using my live scope, and I'm just pedaling, and so I'm seeing the fish, and I'm dropping down on it, and I'm hammering them. But I'm out there looking, and I'm extending energy. And Tim's just like sitting there, no sonar, drifting, doing his thing. He's like, you just relax. The fish will find you.
That's it.
Boom. And he wailed on them all day. He didn't get as many hits as me, but he got better fish. I was like going around like, oh, dang, catching it, whatever, just do it. And I was like, okay, I got to just like, we know they're here, especially on Lake St. Clair. They're moving, but all the water. I literally just gotta literally wait. I gotta slow down.
So here's a question. Okay, so everybody knows finesse fish. It's like a smallmouth tactic. How long do you think it's going to be until finesse fishing starts to take over largemouth as
Already
well?
is.
Already is. It's going that way. We're
Bite your tongue.
we're giving everything away.
We actually had this conversation. I stopped at Brandon's, picked him up, come here, and we were talking kind of about this and the forward-facing sonar game and those fish that are in open water, and particularly smallmouth. Those fish are for years they were the easy pickings. Like those were the fish that you could go out there with forward-facing sonar and whale on them because they'd never been touched before.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, there's the largemouth now that have been left alone on the bank.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
I'm not going to give it all away.
Don't
but
give it up.
There's smallies and largies in places that are overlooked, and the technology is capable than most people think it is. Guys that are thinking, oh, I'm great with live scope. Man, most of them haven't even scratched the surface with it yet.
And we've said that in other episodes. Everybody uses it a little differently.
Yeah.
And not just live scope. Take electronics.
Yeah.
People don't know how to use them properly. They don't know how to read their maps right. They don't know how to read their 2D right. They don't know how to use their side imaging. It's everything from like how you waypoint management, right? Like all this stuff. And it's very easy once you learn.
Oh, yes.
Right? Come to the boat show this week and go to the Garmin booth. Go Radio World. Go wherever you want to talk to them. There's going to be some sonar experts.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what system you use, there's going to be experts. But come see us at the Garmin. Me and Warren, we're there. By the time this podcast, you're listening to this, me and Warren will be at the show. We're there till Sunday.
Is Dave Barstow down there working the Garmin booth this year?
Not this year.
Oh.
So we'll take you through the units, and we have some great team members there. Like, these guys are experts. And we'll show you. And trust me, we'll spend an hour with you if that's what you need. That's our job to do that week. And we'll teach you all about this stuff.
I would say there's more anglers out there that don't know how to use their units. There's more of them than ones that do.
Oh, far more. I'd say it's
by,
maybe
large numbers.
10% of the anglers know how to use their electronics.
Yeah.
There's guys that have them to look the part.
Yeah.
They don't know how to use it.
Yeah.
Not to its capabilities.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's it, too. Its capabilities.
Yeah. Go on YouTube. There's so many amazing videos of guys like, okay, that's, market, like showing you stuff. I don't care what brand you're fishing. It's out there.
I can't tell you how many hours I spent this year because I switched my whole boat over to Garmin units this year. And how many hours I spent out on the water actually watching YouTube videos and putting it into play right right away.
I've done that same thing.
Right?
Exact same. I'm sitting on my knees on the trolling
it.
motor, like looking around.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Love it.
I get frustrated with the Garmin guys that have all the units but still haven't figured out active captain.
Yeah.
Oh, can you come update my graphs for me? I'm like, do it through your phone. What are you talking
Warren
about?
helped me the first time.
Right?
Yeah.
No,
Hey,
but what I mean
the
is
very
like
first was-
it's so easy now.
now
I
it's-
have
It is
active
now,
captain,
yeah.
so if I have it,
Yeah.
I can do it. Trust me, you can do it.
Like it's phenomenal when you learn how to use all this stuff. But speaking of boats, what are you guys running for setups?
So my setup is I have a Lowrance at the back, a 12-inch, and then I have actually my wife for our wedding. She just bought me an 8612.
Nice. Whoa, nice speed resolution. Wow. Wow.
She's a keeper, so I got
Wow.
8612 is my wedding gift.
Nice.
And I have a Lowrance up front just for waypoint management.
And then you're running a Ranger.
I run a Ranger,
Yeah.
an older Ranger, yeah.
And what do you run, Warren, for your whole boat setup, everything?
I have a Nitro Z21.
Yeah.
Got 126 SV, I guess, Eagle Map Ultras.
Yeah.
Live scope, power pole charge, power poles. It's kitted out. It's not
Garmin
much
Force.
Yeah, Garmin Force. Love that thing. I mean, yeah, they're up there in price, but you get what you pay for, man. I have put that thing through its paces, and it hasn't let me down.
So
I need one this year.
yeah, they're
Highly recommend it. Like the amount of
So-
power behind, like with those brushless motors, man,
That's
it's
what I want.
unbelievable.
That's what I want.
So when I was with you on Rice Lake, your boat has a sticker of an eagle on the side.
I was
Can you explain
expecting
this?
to come.
Can you explain this, please?
So with our crew that we run with, my nickname's Eagle. It's kind of, I don't know.
Sharp.
Yeah, I guess.
Just because you had a pointed head doesn't make you sharp.
But I think it originally came from the War Eagles spinnerbait. I don't know. The boys all have nicknames, and they were trying to figure out what Warren would go with. And anyways, one of our friends, Travis Goslin there, Ghazi, he was like, "Oh, you're the War Eagle," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's kind of
That's
roll off the tongue
hilarious.
too well." And then it just transitioned to Eagle, and then funny enough, Mike Schuler, so he was out on the boat pre-fishing for one of the qualifiers in Petawawa with the OBN there, and he was practicing with Travis from Peterborough Pro Tackle, and he happened to be asking him why they call me Eagle. And at the exact time he asked that, I come rolling in off pad, jump up. How's it going, guys? He's like, because he swoops in and catches all your fish. I never.
Pretty good.
Yeah, so it was just perfect timing. And
That's awesome.
anyway, but it was it was not that that's how it originated, but anyways, it was entertaining. I get razzed about it still to this day, but
Remind me to let the air out of his tires before the
No
next
doubt.
tournament.
yeah. Well, hey, you've got the best of me a few times, but
No,
I mean, we
I
all
don't know
have.
about that.
So going to the boat show, this is a dangerous deal for me.
No.
Well, because you may or may not be in the market for a boat.
I'm hearing there's some desperate guys down there right now that need to make a deal.
Oh, with interest rates, I'm sure there will be.
Yeah, right.
I just don't think it's smart that I attend for this reason.
Do you want me to go down there for you?
So that's why you're trying to get out of this.
No, I'm not trying to get out of it. I love the boat show. We're just very busy this week.
Yeah.
But it's really like, my wife's like, you go to that show and you come home with a boat. I'm like, well, I'm not going to come home with it right away. I'll have to think about it.
Gotta be at least a week or so.
No, I'm just kidding. Leanne doesn't give a crap about anything. She's like, do whatever the heck you want. Seriously,
building
I'm lucky
you
that way. But it's going to be a bad deal if I end up in the Lund booth, I think.
Man, those Pro V basses
Pro V.
are nice.
And no, and I want to fish some smaller northern lakes and stuff too. And I think aluminum
That
what I would do.
1875 is like for
Yeah.
Ontario.
with like a 200
I
on
think-
it would
yeah.
be beauty.
I think that's honestly, as an Ontario all-purpose boat, I think that's probably one of the best boats.
And I'll get the flip up casting deck at the back so the seats for the kids.
Yeah.
And then it's mint.
Or you're gonna go Pro V now?
Maybe.
gonna-
Maybe. I don't know. Impact, something. Be cool. Yeah,
The impact's
Would
really
be
nice.
neat.
Impact be good, like musky
Yeah.
boat.
I'm a musky guy now
good
after the
family
last
boat.
episode. So,
Yeah, right.
dude, I want to be I'm all musky. I want to go to Lac Seul with Greg.
I am.
I just think
definitely going
it's
to the fall.
something I need to do.
Yeah, I'm definitely
Yeah.
going.
So I think that'd be cool. But
That guy can catch him.
Yeah, you can.
oh yeah,
And if you follow his social, that guy wails on him.
he's a hammer,
Greg
man.
Attard, yeah, he's
He's a hammer. So if you didn't listen last episode, you might be missing one of our best episodes ever.
Yeah,
So
super knowledgeable guy.
yeah, both those guys. I think too we gotta announce it, but we're gonna get Greg to do a seminar at the show.
Yeah, I think he's
Nice.
pumped to
Musky
do that.
Maniacs. Yeah, so we got to get that all sorted out. But that's all stuff that we're going to come out in the next. Well, we basically got 60 days. It's coming.
Really?
Coming quick, eh?
Oh,
A little more than 60 days.
That'll go fast.
Oh yeah,
Coming quick. So
We got to build a tin boat in there.
you're not supposed to talk about the tin boat.
Tin boat.
You can't talk about the tin boat. No. Not talking about the tin boat. I'm having a hard time with the tin boat myself
Why?
because I can't say it on the air. I'll talk about it in a later episode why I'm having a hard time with the tin boat.
Did you buy a tin boat?
Yeah, I own about 7 of them.
Right.
So,
Should do weekly pre-builds. Like, hey, this week we did.
well,
Framing.
I don't know.
We're pretty busy. It's going to be. We did all this in one night.
Pretty much. I was just gonna say.
That's what it's going
It
to
could be with you guys.
It's a
yeah.
marathon.
It might be nice.
Yeah.
We can't talk about the tin boat on there.
Tin boat.
Okay, we got some time here to do the Daiwa Q&A session with our guests.
Uh-oh.
Now, you guys got to jump in on this because I
All right.
got a few questions. And feel free to ask me a question. No, I'm just kidding. No one cares, Kyle.
Did you buy a tin boat?
So, no,
Tin boat.
I didn't. I didn't buy a tin boat. I traded for a tin boat.
That is true.
I hear it was a pretty interesting
was a good-
expedition, too.
It was a deal.
You guys
It
are
was
letting
great.
way too much out of the bag here. Okay, Woody is gonna flip over here. We're all gonna be fired after this episode. Woody has the power to kick us out.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, he
Okay,
does.
so you're only fishing one. You're only fishing one way for the rest of your life: spinning or casting.
Casting.
Come on, Warren. You just sat there and told us that everybody can catch everything on a bait caster, light line.
Yeah. I think
I'm just kidding.
I think for general application across North America, I would have to say casting.
Okay. The best fishing day of your life. You know, the summed up version
Recently or
of your life. It depends how old you are, man,
And when it happened.
and when it happened.
If not like if you're a Mark Hunter in the age of Jesus. But
with this largemouth on the same.
I've only caught one, so it kind of narrows down my choices.
Best fishing day of your life.
Ever?
I've had a few when I was 12. Like, I didn't know you couldn't catch largemouth in April, but
Oh, that's good.
But you know what? I've had some good largemouth and smallmouth days, but yeah, like not even.
didn't you have a super stellar day on Cooch?
Yeah, hyper tour.
Yeah, that was a pretty fun.
I can't wait to go there this year. I've only been on
that
it
was a
once.
pretty
We got
fun
One of the
there.
biggest bags ever recorded on Cooch.
Yeah, that was a pretty fun day.
How big was
Yeah,
the
that
bag?
was a good day.
I can't even remember.
Wish I had that problem. I
I think
can't
it was
even remember.
27.
Yeah,
27,
28
9.
pounds.
I'm gonna say.
Dude.
Yeah. It was a
Simcoe.
hyper tour. Was it
Sim-
Simcoe?
Simcoe, it was 27.89. That was Simcoe.
2789, 27.9. What?
Yeah,
Whatever. Let's just call it 28.
27
Yeah.
on Cooch. That's huge.
Let's just call it 28.
I'm like, yeah, I did do that. No, I didn't. No, it was Simcoe. We won the Hyper Tour on Simcoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a 689 was our big fish that day, and yeah, that happened really quick. That happened really fast. That one. We had that bag by 10 o'clock.
What color was that on?
You see that black finesse jig in front of you?
No.
Giving it away.
Yeah, there's a few things there. Some were on drop shot, some were on tube, some were on a finesse jig, and actually, you know what? A lot of them were on that Goby.
Oh yeah, we never even got to go over
sorry.
that.
That was actually kind of the prototype of.
These things are sweet. Look at these things.
No, I wasn't bringing it up because you're
Well-
going to show. I was just
Wait.
mentioning that.
These are going to be at CanCast, right?
Those will be.
Okay.
Yes.
What else are you bringing? That's
These
cool.
are going to sell out at CanCast. I'm calling it
100%.
right now. I may or may not have 20 packs of these in the boat too.
I have a new addition to the swim bait lineup that I think guys are really going to like this year.
That's
Really?
I think that's going to be the release at your show.
Really?
sweet. Really? Yeah. I would be honored if you released that at our show. That'd be sweet.
I'm a
These
swim
available in
bait
different
guy.
sizes too?
And you know the hard, yeah. So we have that in a 3.5 inch,
Yeah.
and a 4 inch right now. So I do have 2 swim baits are on the website. It's a 6 inch mag shad. It looks like it's a shad, and then we have one. It's called a thin swimmer, which is it's a swimmer, but it's 6 inch. Just it's thinner. That was more for we were catering really to a lot of lake trout guys this year and some bigger smallmouth guys as well.
I love fishing lake trout.
Yeah.
100%. And I keep getting asked, "Can you make a 6-inch? Can you make?" And this was the year that we were doing the 6-inch swim baits for those guys for sure. So we just need some ice.
Right.
Warren, your best day of fishing of your life. Did I ask you? We don't think we got you.
I love fish so much I can't come with just
Well,
one.
can I guess?
What?
It's probably on the St. Lawrence.
That's one of them.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I've had some banger days on the St. Lawrence.
Great
it's
body of
it's
water.
it's the best, hands down, smallmouth fishery in the world.
Yeah,
It's
no doubt.
unbelievable. You can't go out there and, I mean, you can have a bad day, but a bad day is a great day anywhere else.
That's so true.
Unless you're Mark Hunter.
Unless it's blowing 10 footers,
Yeah.
and it's less than
Remember
fun.
that time you
Don't go in the 10 footers yet. Okay, we're not question for that. Okay, what is your favorite jig brand?
Non-biased.
Not at all.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, give her a minute.
No, for me in the beginning, like before I first started, it was there was a company, I don't know if they're around, they're called Monster Grass Jigs. And they had like black with some tinsel. They had a cool head. The hook was good. So that was like,
Ooh, do you got black and tinsel?
I have a tinsel lineup actually. They're called flash jigs.
I've seen those. Yeah.
So we have a whole selection of those.
And why aren't those in my goodie bag? No, I'm just kidding.
They're a little higher price point, but they are a very difficult jig to make. Just adding everything specifically. It's an awesome jig. But those jigs there, I think that was one of my like first jigs I ever flipped. It was probably like a Monster Grass jig.
Love it.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I've used several different brands over the years. Obviously, I built a good friendship with Brendan here, and I've been using his jigs for quite a while now. The black and the Sungill, which is my little best kept addiction.
Sort of.
Yeah, sort of.
Not anymore.
No.
It's I use that one a lot. I have way too many of those in a box in my boat, slowing it down.
The grass ripper.
The grass ripper.
I won my first clubby on a perfect jig.
Did you?
Yeah.
I caught my personal
That's
best.
cool.
Actually, so I caught my personal best largely on a perfect jig.
Did you?
Yeah, I think I told you
What
that one.
color?
I can't tell you what color it is.
Yeah, it'd be my personal.
None of you guys have these jigs.
My kicker
That's
fish
a color
for that.
no one has.
Is it true? I told him building. He's
No
like,
one-
why?
No one had. I'm making it, and I'm like, "Are you sure you want this?" Like I'm texting. I'm like, "You sure you want this? That's the color. That's my color."
Caught my personal best largely on. I've caught fish on it all the time.
Yeah.
It was a swim jig, isn't it?
Don't. We did,
Yeah.
No, I didn't know if it was a swim jig. And
I'm a swim jig guy.
can't remember.
I freaking love throwing a swim jig.
Yeah.
Swim jig's my jam. I love it. And there's a certain color I did, and a reason why, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't rip it off, but someone's like, this is the color you need. But I can't find the jigs. So I'm like, well, I'll get Knaggs to build me it.
Come on over.
So we tweaked it. I tweaked it like how I wanted it a little bit. And yeah, it works. So
Good to town.
am I the only one that has those, seriously?
Honestly.
Because you've done it 2 years in a row for me.
I
Maybe
used to-
3 years in a row.
I make stuff. So I make for some elite guys. I make for some MLF guys. I make. I make.
now an amateur podcast
No,
host.
no, not even going there. I was just saying, like, I make for a bunch of different guys. So what I was going to say is, like, I make such different varieties of jigs for different guys, and then you want that one, and that is like a jig I've like never made or heard of before.
So I'm going to change it a little bit this year.
Yeah, it's
but
great. It's cool. I like doing it. Like I
Yeah, it
used to
looks
be
sweet.
really heavy into I still do probably 50 custom orders of specific stuff where like, and I mean specific where guys want 3 strands of white, 2 strands of yellow, some blue and some orange. Like,
Right.
That's one guy's like, sorry. That's one guy's like specific color or something, right?
Whoa.
But
Rewind.
but but they want like super specific, and when they want something, they want it, and they want 100 of it, and that's all they want, right?
Right.
Which is great. And you know, it's crazy. I used to order jigs back in the day from a couple custom guys as well. You get 25 of this, 25 of that, 30 of this, and then I was good for the year, right?
Yeah,
So,
it's freaking
neat.
sweet.
My 2 best largemouth, the one in Ontario and one in Florida, both on Perfect Jig.
Nice.
My
There you go.
personal best in Ontario is 6'1".
Same here.
I've got a replica made of it.
Did
It
you?
was my very first clubby win.
Wow.
I was partners with Coop.
Yeah.
Right, me and
Cool.
Cooper, and it was on a Perfect Jig Black Mini.
Okay, so
You love
mine's
the black.
6'1".
I don't want to say it, but
You love the black.
like I'm telling you, it's just it catches them. It straight
man.
catches them, man. That fish came out, and like I flipped in, and me and Coop were standing side by side as we do, and this fish came out, and when it grabbed it, it had it just in the side of its mouth. And Coop's like, he's got it. I'm like, no, wait. And he went and sucked it in. And I jacked this fish, man. When that fish came in the boat, it was insane.
Oh, that's awesome.
Exact same size for my Ontario personal best for largemouth, and same thing. It watched this like 3.5 pounder swim under the edge of this dock, and I'm like, oh, that's a good one. It'll help our bag a little bit. We're sitting on like 20 pounds or something like that at the time, and it was skipped in under the dock and felt this little tick and go to set the hook, and there's like 6 and change comes out from under the dock.
Grandpa bit.
Holy, that wasn't the same fish.
Yeah.
Literally swung him into the boat, flipped back under, caught the other one we saw. Where me and my partner Zach there were sitting looking, going, did that just happen? Like we just upgraded like that.
That's awesome.
And then in Florida, I was on the Rodman Reservoir, just outside of Salt Springs, right beside St. John's River. A lot of guys in the elites go in there. I'm kind of lucky. My parents have a place right down the road. We were in there, and
isn't that called Jurassic Park?
it is. It produces the most share lunkers of any lake in Florida.
Who was just fishing there? I literally read this today at Jurassic Park. Who was I just reading before I came here? It was Canadian. Who's down there right now?
I know.
Who is it?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, no. Who was down there? Anyways, doesn't matter. Okay.
Yeah, he sucked. Saying about the jig getting sucked into the fish's mouth.
Yeah.
I watched this like shadow come up behind the bait, and Rodman Reservoir, for anybody who doesn't know, it's all standing timber. Like the whole lake, you can't run through the lake. There's like one boat channel. Other than that, it's idle. It's just trees everywhere. Yeah. And anyway, I see this like
It's not like the way I run into that back bay on Seymour.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I knew where I was going. I had mapping. They don't call me. They don't call me sonar for nothing, bud. Radio.
Right?
But yeah, I see this like dark thing, and the water's very tannin stained there. And I see this dark thing kind of like following the jig up from this tree. I'm like, what is that? And I got a local guy down there, and he's like, I don't know. I'm like, what is that? And I gave the jig a little pop, and all of a sudden I just see the gills flare, and I just watch the jig go sucked in the mouth. And I'm like, oh my God, oh my good Lord, like I know what that is, and just wailed on it. Same thing, biggest fish, biggest largemouth I've ever caught, over 9 pounds.
So I was out fishing with Paul Powis. Paul Powis,
Paul
huge
Powis
guy
is
down
the
here.
Chuck Norris of fishing.
We're gonna get him on the show. He wants to come on the show.
Yeah?
Right?
I almost saw the Chuck Norris thing at the dock. Trust me, but he fillets your walleye and all that stuff, and you throw the scraps in for the fish. So we're out fishing. He's like, hey, I got a pet 6-pounder back at the dock, and I'm like, yeah, okay. He's like, no, seriously, it's a 6-pound bass. Okay, so filleting the fish, boom, boom, boom. Yep, comes out from underneath the neighbor's boat, just eats all the chum for like 10 minutes, and I'm filming it. I might have the video still. It was a big fish, and I'm like, Paul, let's let me catch that. He's like, nope, no one's allowed to catch it. It's just it's there every day, right? 'Cause I'm just like, I just want to drop, boom, right?
That's Chuck's fish.
Yeah, it was wicked. So. Okay, you're out there looking for fish. Your favorite search bait?
Chatterbait.
Chatterbait.
Do you even get to fish anymore?
Well,
Because you're busy.
You're about to learn.
You're soon gonna find out, my friend.
Right?
Congrats again on the baby. That's awesome.
Thank you. And you just had a baby. Well, a couple years now. She's getting big.
She's 2.5 now.
But between having a baby
Yeah.
and doing all you do with your billion skews,
Yeah.
where do you find the time to fish?
Like I fish. Like Teresa's awesome about it. I can sneak out whenever I want, really. Basically now it's just I enjoy. My favorite time is like end of August, from August to like November.
And you're kind of slowing down then, right?
I'm like stores are still ordering for all of September right into October, and then I'll do like booking stuff, and then the ice fishing ramps up. So like I'm still going, but it's not as crazy as the summer, so it kind of peers down a little bit, but I really enjoy fall fishing. We're in Brighton now, so I'm loving Lake Ontario. I've got out there for the last few years. I'm liking the smallmouth game.
Doing the early season?
Yeah, I did the early season for the first time last year. Unreal. I'll say that. Like
That's coming up.
by noon, I was ready to pack it in and sit down because I said to my buddy, I went out with my buddy Scott and I said, if I don't catch another smallmouth the rest of the season, I don't even care.
So that will be open.
We caught that many.
It's open right now.
Yeah, technically it's open right now,
it's
but
open
on
right
the ice, so like you'll be able to go to CanCast, buy what you need, and go fishing.
Yeah. It's
if you do the open season.
unbelievable that early season.
Yeah.
Largemouth and smallmouth.
I haven't had a chance to do it yet.
It's
So
highly recommended.
but we're gonna do it. Okay.
Yeah.
At what point do you consider water too rough to fish?
I haven't met it yet.
Oh, big one. You haven't met it yet because you don't go out on windy days.
No, I've been out on some really bad stuff on Lake and
Nipissing.
Erie and Nipissing.
Yeah.
I Nipissing the one time we did. I mean, Lake O stuff. I've been at way worse stuff than that. But I mean, I ran 75K one way both days on that event and top 5'd it and. My back was feeling at the end of the day, but I mean, the boats that we have today, the equipment we have today are capable of a lot more than what guys are physically are willing to put themselves through. You just got to take your time.
Yeah, time I think is one of the biggest things for sure. Biggest I've ever been. I've been in 10 footers, and that was we got sent out. It was a tournament organizer that's definitely not around anymore, and we went out of Lake Erie. And it was blowing like as he was blasting off. Like as I was going out, it was
Small craft warning.
It was just before they called it, and he let everybody go.
Oh.
And I'll always remember my buddy Scotty goes, "Only practice to where you can get to." And I looked at the wind, and I was practice. I was there for 10 days, and I was looking at practice, and I was running far, all the way here to Turkey Point and Long Point. I'm not going to make it. I go, if it blows like it says it's going to blow, I'm not going to make it. I fished where I needed to go. I basically almost putted to an area, sat there, but it was 10 footers. I had a partner backed out on me last minute. So I was by myself with a scrutineer. They put a scrutineer in the boat.
Oh, that's good.
The bilge stayed on all day. Yeah. I've never been in I consider myself a pretty decent boat driver, but like I'll always remember going to the top of a wave and I couldn't give it throttle because if I went down too much, it would crest in my boat.
Wow.
And I mean like crest. Like I'm looking at it going, uh-oh. Yeah. So you had to kind of come down on an angle and then drift up the wave and then kind of turn to where you wanted to go. So like one drift would take you 15, 20 minutes to get back to where you needed to go. But that was the worst. I always remember I needed something out of my rod locker and I open it up and my rod locker's full of water.
Yeah, I'll bet.
And I was like, my guy was like, "Oh my God, your rod locker's full. Like we could tip." And I'm like, "Yeah." I go, "We're in a Ranger. Like they don't sink. You can't. They're full of foam. You can't. It doesn't matter if it's a 94 or a 2020. They don't sink. Don't worry about it." He's bailing my rod lockers out. Like both of them were full of water. I was bailing them out. My whole guy, and that's just waves just crashing over. We didn't stuff anything, but that was probably the worst day I've ever been. I think I caught 15 or 16 pounds that day. Lost a couple big ones at the side of the boat, but is what it is. But
just because it's rough and the boats can handle it. Also, I will say from my last comment, doesn't mean it's enjoyable. Like if it's
it's hard on stuff.
Yeah, I've had stuff ripped off the boat, being out and that stuff. And like I don't go out there on a fun fishing day and that stuff.
No.
But if I'm already in an event, and they say go, well, I mean, I've paid my entry fee. Yeah. There's 50 other guys that are going. I gotta go.
And that was the funny thing that you said. I'm sitting out there and I'm fishing, and I was like, I'm doing this for fun, right?
Yeah.
Like coming down up a wave. I'll always remember, check this. Erie, they have those like freighter ships, right? Mm-hmm. I'll always remember I come up the wave and I see the freighter ship. And I go down the wave and I don't see the freighter ship for 15 to 20 seconds. And then I come back up and he's there. But you got to watch, like you could come over one of those waves and crest it. There could be another boat right in that next trough. Right. You don't know.
Oh, yeah.
So there's no running it. No. You can't. The waves were coming from the south and we were fishing towards the north. So by the time it gets to you, like you're coming from Detroit, like it's bad. It's like fishing Lake Ontario and fishing the mouth of St. Lawrence River.
Right.
From the south. Mm-hmm. By the time those waves get to you, or Toronto Harbor, by the time it comes to you, they're already 8-10 footers.
Yeah, the gap between Amherst and the river.
Yeah.
When it blows there, man, it's nasty.
Yeah.
And there's no drops.
We turned around, remember?
There's no drops either. Like you don't run them. They come. The waves come from every angle.
You can't run those.
You come out and you're like, uh-oh, and you got to stay into them. Like if you let off the throttle, you're in trouble.
It wasn't too bad. It was like 4 or 5 footers when we were going out, but like as soon as it turned, because it was like 2 to 3 footers going out there, but as soon as we got into the big water and it was like 4 or 5 footers, I was like,
And it was
you
only
know
going to
what,
get
boys?
worse. Like when you came around.
Yeah.
And you'll always know, like when you're out there fishing, and you feel like you're like if I'm out like past the ducks, or I'm on like the border of U.S. and Canada, and I feel like the
Something's
slightest little breeze, and I'm like looking around, going, where are they? Where are they? Because I've been
comes
out,
on
I've
like
been out
that.
there one time, and I'm telling you, it was flat. Then it was like 2 footers, and I'm like, I'm still good. Within 3-4 minutes, they rolled in, and it was 5 footers, 6. It took me 2 hours to get back to the ramp.
That happened to Danny McGarry and I. We were heading out to the ducks one day, and that same thing. The water kicked up like in a heartbeat.
You got to know when and guys want to stay, and I get it. You got to know when to go.
No, we turned around.
100%. Yeah, it's smart. It's smart.
Take your time.
Yep.
Be smart about it.
You know
Like
what
I say? You can get through most of it.
It's only
but
fishing.
you don't need to.
At the end of the day, and you know what?
Yeah.
When you have a kid, and you know,
Yeah.
there
Right?
a lot changed. When I had Everly, honestly, first thing I did when I started going to Lake Ontario, I bought a marine radio. I was like, you know what? And I've always told Teresa, hey, I'm launching out of Bath. I'm launching out of Wapoose. I'm going out to Long Point. I'm going out to where I tell her where I'm going. So if you need to find me or I don't come home that night,
Right.
It's where you need a Garmin in
you know
reach.
where I am. Always remember going to Lake Ontario with a buddy. We run all the way out there. It's fall. It's November. All of a sudden, we're fishing. See a bunch of fish right under us. Out comes this boat from the little harbor in there, and I was like, coming towards us. Has a bimini top, and I'm like, is that a cop boat? I'm like 30 miles offshore, and I'm like, no way. Sure enough, comes over, police boat.
Yep.
And I'm like, wow. I'm like shocked. I'm like, he goes, how's it going, guys? I go, good. I go, here, we got life jackets. I go, here, I'll get all the safety gear. Like, I'm ready to go. I could live on my boat for 2 weeks. I got canola bars for tents. I got fire. I got everything. I'm good. I'm ready to go. And he goes, if you guys are out here, he goes, I don't need to see it. He goes, if you guys are out here with no safety gear, you're idiots.
Yeah.
And he goes, where did you launch from? And I go, Bath there. And he goes, okay, it's all I need to know. Bye. And he took off like into the abyss. And I was like, where did you come from?
Wow.
Yeah, for those who aren't following, we're talking about going out to the ducks, and if you haven't seen where the ducks is on a map, go and look at where the ducks is, and it is like it's far. You can't
You're not
see
seeing land.
You don't see land.
Well, just look at the Canadian-U.S. border and look in the middle of Lake Ontario, and there's a tiny little island just to the south, or I guess north, just to the north of the Canadian border there.
Right.
And you'll see it.
Yeah. It's way out there.
It doesn't look far until you start going.
Yeah.
Calm day, you fly out there in 15, 20 minutes max. But like on a rougher day coming back.
Yeah, you're a couple hours.
And you just got to make sure you have enough fuel, because you're like, I remember coming back, and I'm telling you, I was coughing gas coming in. I like just made it back.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah. Not last year, the year before, I was out filming the Chris and Corey fish off with Tackle Depot.
Right.
And they decided they want to go out. And the boys said, hey, we're going to run to the ducks. And it was rough, but okay going out there. It was blowing, but not bad, like probably 3-4 footers, which is pretty typical out there, honestly.
Right.
We get out there, we literally got to the ducks, and the thunderstorm of thunderstorms rolls in, and we literally beach the boat on the docks, and there's next to no trees out there. We're trying to find somewhere to hide. Lightning's beaming down, and we're like, this is not good. And I mean, it's a run to get back.
Yeah.
And we stayed out there. The storm passed. Luckily, we got to fish for a bit. But when we come around the island to find the boys, I mean, it was blowing 7 or 8s, and it was a 2-hour ride back. But we had a place to fish out there. It was calm on the backside. We had a great day.
Yep.
But the run back, I mean, it was wet. It was rough, but took our time and never stuffed the wave, and we had a great time.
If it wasn't for the snakes, I'd probably stay. I hear the snakes on the island, and I've seen some fishing around shore. Big giant black ones. And
dude, not doing it. Not doing it.
Yeah,
I don't do snakes,
curled
man.
up, and I'm like, you know what? Like, I hear there's a lot of snakes on that island.
There is a lot of snakes on that island.
They can stay on that island, I hope.
Snakes or thunderbolts? I'll take the snakes.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
All right, last question. Do you consider yourself a tackle addict? And what kind of storage tips can you give you guys?
I can't. Teresa's listening, so.
Yeah.
It's fun. The craziest thing is I make tackle, and my online tackle orders are
So like,
furious.
have you ever thought of
I just got one last week, and I'm like, ooh, like I can't wait to unbox this thing.
It's like collecting toys. You don't even use half of them.
Yeah.
You should
like-
see the walls in the garage. It's
Yeah.
like nothing of mine that I make, and then and people would be like, "Wow, look at that!" And I'm like, "They're like, don't you make tackle?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't make this, yet."
So you display everything on your walls in your garage.
No, honestly, like I've really my tackle organization is like I'm very fussy on stuff. Everything's like with a label maker, labeled, boxed, like it's all specific.
Like it.
That's key.
Oh yeah, organization's key.
When you need stuff,
Don't look at
when you
my
need
totes.
stuff in a pinch, like and you know what? My stuff on my wall, and kind of got this from some of the like elite guys. All my stuff is in my boxes, and then my extras are on my wall. So if I know what I need, or if I do go to an event, bring that. If I know I need this, then those 6 extra packs or 12 extra packs come off and do another bin, and then I have extra if I know I'm going to do that. But I'll only pack the boat to like what I'm gonna need. I pack probably light. And that's just more of the largemouth part of it, shallow water. Like,
Yeah.
when I go largemouth fishing, I don't fish any deeper than 3 feet. If I can't see bottom, I got to get back up.
Really?
Yeah. There's no like, some of my
sure.
biggest bass have come in like 6 inches of water. Like,
Wow.
I saw one come on its side out once before and grab my frog.
I took you smallmouth fishing on a little local lake nearby, and after about 20 minutes of smallmouth fishing, you're like, "To heck with that. We got to go somewhere I can
I
see
remember
bottom."
that. Yeah,
And we caught smallmouth up shallow.
We went right up. I looked up. I looked up, and I found the closest cane bed I could. Started flipping jigs and caught right away. I remember that. Yeah, it was good. That's right. But yeah, I think tackle. I'm always like a tackle tinkerer. Like I love tinkering with tackle. I love organizing it. I love playing with it. That's kind of like when you said it's more relaxing for you to go in your garage and just chill. When I'm in the mood to do it, I'm all about it. I was in there last week. Opened up all swim baits and laid everything in boxes and this and that now. When I'm not into it, I'm really not into it. Like when everything was going on like the last 2 years and, with that happening, I literally thought I was almost going to sell stuff. And I told Teresa, I think I'm done. I'm not into it anymore.
Wow.
Like as far as the pouring and the actual business or just your...
Just my fishing stuff. I think I was going to sell the boat and tackle, and I feel like I wasn't into it as much. And I think it was a lot to do with going on with... Our story's a little bit different than everybody else's having a baby. Like, Teresa, we kind of... Short form, but Teresa went in for, like, an ultrasound, and they basically said, like, she has placenta previa, so it was different. So they basically kept her in the hospital for 3 months, the last 3 months, right? So... It was crazy because she went in the hospital the first week of...
and that was all during COVID.
So she went in the week before. They were just going to keep her. And then COVID hit.
Right.
And they locked the hospital down. And I was like, what? So I didn't see her for 3 months.
That's right.
And in those 3 months, I was like, you're at home. I'm thinking.
Stuff.
We went and did visits and whatever else. So our story was a little bit different. But like I'd go to the hospital and have to wave in the window for an hour and two, and it was crazy. And at that time, I was like,
I can mess a guy up on a good day.
a little bit. And I'm pretty headstrong, I think, in most ways.
Oh, buddy.
But that stuff, like, it was like my first kid, and you didn't know what happened, and everything's going on. Business was slow. Nobody was buying, obviously. People were just tightening up. So that part of it, and it was crazy because that was the one time since I started making jigs that I had the most time in my whole life. There was no distractions at home. Business wasn't really at a standstill. And we had like nothing, there was nothing to do really.
Yeah.
I had my stepdaughter at home. She was 13, 14 at the time. And we hanging out and doing stuff throughout the day. But I had more time than anybody to like do things and organize. And I will say that was the one time I never stepped foot in the garage near the boat. Half of my shop is the boat area and half of it is the work area.
Yeah.
And I never stepped in the fun part because I always look at it like this. Fishing for me is fun when everything else is great. When home life and everything else is functioning and going well, fishing is amazing and we can enjoy it.
I want to comment on that because my whole thing is like, we're so busy during the week right now. Mm-hmm. Like me and Warren, we don't get an off season because like we're busy and crazy in summer with Daiwa and Garmin, Under Armour, all that stuff. And then in fall, we're busy with all the shooting sports side and Under Armour again. Like we get a couple slow weeks in June, and even those are going away. Like it's different product launches now and all that stuff. So my weekends are so valuable. So for me to take off and go do an event I want to do or a tournament, I'm leaving my kids at home.
Yeah.
I'm not getting the time with them, right? And so like one side of me is I love doing the kayak thing, and I always will. But I want a boat because my daughter's at the age now where let's go fishing, jump in the boat, right? It's all starting to change. But I know exactly what you're saying because there's times where it's like I don't get to fish near as much as I should, but it's like, man, I have thousands of dollars in this stuff and I'm not even using it.
Oh.
But we're just at that stage in our life and it's gonna get better. But yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. Like there is a point where it's like, well, there was a point for me where it became unfun. I even made like a switch for a bit. Now I'm back. But you get my point. It was just it became unfun.
Yeah, I was shocked when you sold the boat there and did all that, right?
Yeah.
But you'll see it too. You know what I mean? You have right now, and I'm not. Nothing's deterred, but it's.
Am I going to sleep tonight after this comment you're about to make?
Sean, I already told you your boat's for sale.
Yeah.
We've already gone over that.
just
not for sale.
Why
But
don't you
you'll
just
remember this.
Yeah,
You'll
rent it to me.
You'll remember this. You'll think like, and people used to tell me, you know, when you have kids, things change. And I'm like, yeah, like I'll still do my stuff. Like as soon as we bought the house and stuff, and when we bought the house, we got pregnant right away. So me and Teresa really didn't know what it was like to kind of like live together, just me and her and Chloe, and you know, do our own thing without having a kid. So then she got pregnant and did whatever. But then I guess the time in the hospital for her and me really like it super changed things. Like for me, it put a lot of things into perspective. For work, business, home, play, all of it, all of it, and it did it within one decision of a doctor saying, you know what, like your placenta's attached here, and he basically said if things change or move, you're gonna bleed out, and both of you are gone.
See,
so
Wow.
so for us, and I'm not trying to be the Debbie Downer here, but it was like for us, from my decision, I turned to him and I go, you're staying. How about that? Because he goes, if anything ever happened, you're out this door, down to the operating room, and you're there. He goes, you guys live in the country? I go, we do. He goes, 15 minutes for the ambulance to get there.
Oh, yeah,
20 minutes home.
It's over.
He goes, you wouldn't make it to the end of the driveway.
It's over.
So in decision like that, it was a very simple decision saying, how about you just stay here and let's keep everybody safe and healthy. Yep. But in that time period, like with tackle organizing, and it wasn't even a factor. It was so, and business, my business, if I had shut it down, I used to be a carpenter. I'll go back to framing. I'll work with McCall.
Yeah,
we'll go frame and build houses.
Yeah, all day.
That's that's okay. I'm okay with that. But it was like at that time, you had to like not make a decision, but I really, really put things into perspective at that point, because it was, you know, it was like the fun versus the home, you know? And, and obviously the home will always outweigh the fun. Always. Yeah. It will. It's been fun for a while. Now it's like serious time, you know?
Right.
But it's great.
Tackle addict.
Yeah. I got a problem. Hi, my name's Warren, and I'm a tackle addict.
So like, have you ever thought if every time you go and buy tackle, it's $100, no problem, easy. You ever thought if you took all that money and you invested it
into tackle?
I'd be a millionaire.
$100.
Yeah, that's the problem. And the worst, like with us, Kyle, because we're into all of the tackle shops across Ontario.
All the time.
Look at all the money I invested into Perfect Jig, and now look at all the SKUs he has.
Yeah. I'm going to charge you guys $200 free.
So Kyle and I, we walk into the best tackle stores across Ontario, and we see stuff that is unique to each shop. Every shop's geared a little bit differently.
They're all different,
and
there's no two alike.
And I mean, there's baits that are the same, but there's always something different. And you're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And you get talking about the local waters, and they're like, well, this is the hot technique here, and you're like, oh man, I got to get some of those. And next thing you know, you're $200 later, $300, $400 later, and you're going, I didn't need this, but man, it's cool.
What's the most you ever spent in a tackle shop?
I don't even want to say.
Oh, are the women watching?
I know.
I'm gonna lie.
I know mine.
If my wife's watching, watching, I'm not saying. But
so
bad.
Yeah. So not rods and reels included. The most I've ever spent was $400.
You're soft.
But I went back and did it the next day again. Right? And I don't even think half of it's opened. Like it's so bad. So like my old house, I started building like this tackle wall in my garage, right? Had the boat and like peg boards and all this. And then I moved. Everything went in the totes and nothing's been set back up. Because when I was doing the kayak thing, you fish lighter. Or I was co-angling, so you're fishing way lighter. But I got plans for a huge just tackle display.
Rehaul.
And you actually know who gave me an idea how to display it well was Jeff Richard from OFC. From OFC. He's got a freaking sweet system. The pegboards, like slot walls on dollies, so you can spin the walls, put them all in a corner, pull them out. It's freaking sweet.
That's pretty cool.
I saw once, I was watching some tackle video, and they had, so their bass boat was backed in their garage, and they had shelving all the way up, probably like 30 inches down.
Danny Dunn.
So check. No, so when you're back in, anything you need, he's in his boat. He just pulls off the shelf. This side's smallmouth, this side's largemouth. This is like in between.
Right.
So
Yeah,
you stood on the back deck or the front deck and walked pretty much everything was around the box.
And then you can put it in your boat easily.
And you can just pull it off instead of like, I have like baker's racks that are loaded with all my boxes, but I got to hop down, grab, put them back in, right? But everything was up on a shelf like 30 inches down all the way around. And he just pulled it up. It was actually a pretty cool idea.
So if you guys have an awesome like tackle management system at home, send us pictures. We'll post them up on the next podcast.
You know who's crazy about it that I watch all the time is, what's his name? Smallmouth Crush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Travis.
Yeah.
Travis Manson.
I will say he's very fussy. I love it.
Yeah.
He's very fussy with this stuff. It actually made me turn some of my tackle like that.
He's got her figured out.
He has it. He's to the point where he labels like a little 3x3 like bag. He'll label this bag.
Oh yeah.
And then put it in a bag with a million other bags on top of a bag in a box with a bag. Like
I don't have time. I don't have time for that.
It is beyond crazy. I've never seen anything like it.
I have slot board along the one side of my garage. So I got a 2.5 bay garage. My boat stays on the one side, and I have slot board down the one side, and keep everything in my totes basically that I need, with excess on that slot board. And I can reach and grab it off from my boat. But I find that over the last 5-6 years that I've really slimmed down what I actually have that I carry in the boat, because I know what I'm going to use.
I've done this.
You should get a table at a tackles show.
Yeah, but here's the problem. I still keep the other stuff.
It's a collector's thing, dude.
Because I think I'm going to need it.
And like you're gonna look back on 20 years, but look at this. Remember these?
There's that
I also have a thing for those hard to get baits. So I have a collection of those hard to get baits that will never see the water. I've got baits that you can't buy anywhere that are worth hundreds of dollars.
Okay, John Mulligan. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That guy's. I was there when he bought. I was there with you, and both of you guys when he bought that bait, and he was so excited. Like $4,000. Actually, it was over $4,000.
Excited. The whole
$4,300 bucks.
Well, that's good. That's good for the industry when something sells like that.
$4,000. What was it?
Musky bait.
What? Did you not watch the last episode?
I haven't watched all of it yet.
And the show. And the show.
No,
right now.
all of it.
You're kicked off. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I mean, there's guys with collections that take
the last episode was wicked. Listen to it. It was wicked. So
my buddy Mark has a pretty big wiggle wart. If you're a vintage wiggle wart guy, like old collection.
Oh wow.
Yeah. My buddy Mark, he has probably the best wiggle wart collection I've ever seen. Wow. He probably has 30 or 40 of them, and like very sought after, buying on eBay, this and that. Cards.
Wiggle wart's big time.
Yeah.
I'm a Vision 110
colors, like
collector.
I've never seen these ones before. A little bit of orange on the bill, like legit real wiggle warts. It's pretty neat.
So the thing is about our show, the CanCast show on April 2nd, is these tackle addicts finally realize they have a problem. They call and say, hey, man, you got any tables in the swap portion? Because there's a swap portion, right?
How many tables are gone for the swap portion?
As of today, we've sold 67.
So 67 guys are going to show up.
I still have room for table.
How long are the tables?
8 feet. Some guys got like 3, 4, 5. One guy bought 10. Steven Euro bought 10. He has so much good stuff.
Yeah, that man's got a lot of table.
So that's 536 feet
of deals.
So that's like 3 feet, 4 feet.
So this is the argument. We're going to talk about this more because there's a strategy of shopping at CanCast this year. You're going to run through this building and go to that building. You're going to start, there is so much to do. We're going to talk about that in another episode. We're way over our time tonight.
Yeah, start it perfect.
I had a great time. We got to have you guys back because we didn't even dig into all the business stuff here. But we had fun. But I just want to say that if you're a tackle addict, CanCast is a tackle buying event. It's a buying show. Deals. It's a buying show.
Yep.
That's what we want you guys to know.
Are you going to have internet there?
There is internet in the Memorial Center.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I believe it's there. We're working on the logistics part of that, but every vendor's asking me that. So yeah.
Probably just for debit machines.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, I had a great time. So remember, guys, you can get your tickets right now, cancast.show or memorialcenter.ca. Go in there, get your tickets early. We have some awesome stuff coming up with some show sponsors. We're going to announce some VIP passes are going to be available with a cool new contest that we worked on today, which we're going to announce soon. There's tons of cool stuff happening. So make sure you check it out. Also, our Musky Maniacs contest is going to wrap up right after this podcast is released. So make sure you get on there and comment on that and get yourself entered in to win that awesome swag bag. Mark, final thoughts.
Well, you guys both have something in common, and it's the roots. And you're both making a living, but you started at the same place in a bass club. So, by all means, if you want to get into fishing, you want to learn, you want to get in some cool boats, meet some amazing people, go look it up. Join a bass club in your area. I'm sure there's one. Doesn't matter where you live. They're all over Ontario. Join a bass club.
100% agree.
A friend of mine messaged me today, and they said, do an episode about back to basics. Where do we start? And you know what? That episode probably won't appeal to everybody, but I think it will also make a lot of people like reminisce about where they started.
Right.
So I think we might take that approach. Get some of like the clubby guys on, maybe one of the Bass Nation guys, and I think we should do that. So that's a really good point.
I think we all hold Bass Nation memberships here. So
we do.
Which is a reminder, I got to renew mine.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I'll never let mine go. Like, you can't go wrong. That's where we all started.
Mm-hmm. Sean?
Final thought?
Final thought.
Tungsten Ned finesse jig.
Oh.
Enough said.
I better make some more after this.
Get him at CanCast. Don't forget to pick up the CanCast limited edition color.
That's it.
Oh, we have one.
It's just
give everything away, man.
I'm telling you, that's gonna straight catch him.
I can confirm.
Warren, final thoughts?
Appreciate you having me out, man. It's been great hanging with you guys.
That doesn't count.
Yeah.
No, I gotta have a final thought.
It's not a
Final thought.
It's not a
final
thank
thought.
you.
That was
Final
bad.
thought.
That was
All right.
mine.
Yeah. I'm sorry. That was a rude move there.
It's like deep thoughts with Jack Handy.
Yeah.
Get out and fish, people. We got the great outdoors. We live in one of the best countries in the world. If you're listening to this, you're obviously a fishing addict like the rest of us. But get out there with somebody that you've never fished with before and learn something new.
Call Mark Hunter.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You can learn a lot.
Phone number attached.
That's what I say to Joan. You can learn from me.
905-244-0692.
Oh, my God.
Whoa.
And the text begin.
Bump, bump, bump.
Sean doesn't text. We sorted this out last episode. If you text Sean, he will call you.
Yeah. Fat thumbs.
Yeah. Knaggs, final thoughts?
Don't give up on largemouth. I know it's
I don't know.
I know it's a smallmouth society right now. It seems to be that way the last couple of years. I think everything comes in cycles. And I think everything's going to cycle back around. You know what? Like, even us, we've gone to some, like, I have a tungsten marabou jig this year. We came up with for smallmouth.
What?
Oh, sorry. Oh, is it?
Whoa. Mic drop.
That's the second CanCast release.
That wasn't in the swag bag.
But anyway, I want to say, don't give up on largemouth. You know what? Like, that's where I grew up fishing. I think I'll always give, my roots to the largemouth, but it'll all cycle back. You know what? All these lakes, and I know the forward-facing sonar has really helped with the smallmouth game for sure, but I think everything's going to cycle back to, the roots. Jig fishing, kicking it old school. Look where the classic was won.
Nice. Yeah, buddy.
Jason Christie flipping docks. Like, what?
There you go.
Doesn't matter. He's with Garmin. He is the best of the best, right?
Yeah.
What did he win on? Done.
What's your final thought, Mr. Kyle?
Yeah.
Life is short. Go to the boat show this week and buy a boat.
Oh, somebody's getting in trouble.
Uh-oh.
No, I don't think I should do it. Like, it's like if I just did one more year, I'll be in a way better spot to buy what I want.
I'll cover for you while you go to the Lund booth.
Yeah, we're going to have to figure that part out too. I got to break away.
You're good. I got you.
Mark will co-sign.
Yeah, I'm not worried. Oh, no, it's not worried about it. I just mean, like, it's a lot of money. Like, boats are ridiculously pricey.
Hey, Kyle. End of the show.
You know what? I know where there's
only
probably
live
My
once.
final thought, it's just money and you make it every day. Thanks, everybody, for listening. See you guys April 2nd. We appreciate all of you. Thanks for listening. Subscribe.
Please.
If you're listening to this on Spotify, please just go over to YouTube and just subscribe for us. Helps us out a lot. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Woody, for putting this all together. And thank you guys all. I appreciate it. Cheers.